We're ready. After 34 games, after victories and defeats, we're ready to show our colors.
Hey everybody, Taryn Meyer here with RealMonarchs.com. The Monarchs are back in the playoffs this Saturday as they host Reno 1868 FC at Zions Bank Stadium. Here's what you need to know ahead of kickoff. Number 1, 4 for 30. Fans can purchase 4 tickets and 4 Monarchs mugs for just $30 by going to RealMonarchs.com/promo and using code PLAYOFFS at checkout. Food during the match will also be just $2, including hot dogs, corn dogs, pretzels, and churros, so be sure to come hungry and ready to be loud for the Monarchs. Number 2, win or go home. Now that the playoffs have begun, it's win or go home for the Monarchs. In the single elimination format, every match counts as the club looks to claim the coveted USL Cup on November 8th. The club has never advanced past the quarterfinal stage, and the team is hungry to show the rest of the league that it means business. Arrive at Zions Bank Stadium early and be loud on Saturday as the Monarchs host Reno 1868 FC at 3 p.m. in the first playoff outing of the year. Can't make it to Harriman? You can catch the match live on ESPN+.
Second touch, sliding through the defense. Now he's into the 18. Has one more to beat, gets it through. Harding has scored in the open minute. What a strike. Laces behind the ball. What a quality strike.
too much lower, 4,500 feet. So really there's not much of a difference there. Both sides with very solid records. Monarchs with a 19-12-3 record. Reno 16-7-11. But the real story, like you mentioned, Chad, is the home record for the Monarchs, 13-2-2, and the away record for Reno with 7-2-8.
And that's why this game was so important, to win the last 2 games of the season for the Real Monarchs. Just to finish a point ahead of Reno FC was huge, because if that had not happened, we would be playing this game in Reno. And that is a huge advantage for them, much like it's a huge advantage for the Monarchs to play here at home.
And we're underway here at Zions Bank Stadium. Quarterfinal USL playoff action. Up over top, Chandler Hoffman's going to apply a little pressure. Carroll will play it back to Bersano. Carroll wearing the captain's armband for Reno. And on the opposite side, Chandler Hoffman sporting the captain's armband like he's done all season long. Chang. He's going for it inside the 18 to Velasquez, top of the 18, dispossessed. Monarch still with possession. Out wide, and Chang was checking back into space, but the ball's coming the opposite way.
Yeah, really good step there by Michael Chang to cause a really good turnover early on in the game. Gets to Sebastian Velasquez. Griffiths does a great job stepping to him to avert the danger, and then Charlie Adams just misses Michael Chang on the connection, passes it out wide for Reno throw-in.
Going forward. In the corner, Komu's defending him. Komu goes down momentarily, able to get back up, and takes a deflection. Both sides going to feel each other out for this early part of the game. Good crowd still filling in here at Zions Bank Stadium.
This team will present a different problem for them that they actually would much rather have than what they've been facing in previous matches. They've been playing OKC Energy, Fresno, the Real Monarchs have, I'm saying, and they've been playing those very direct teams, very over the top, don't like to play soccer. This team, Reno 1868, they like to play soccer. They like to possess the ball. Not too many long balls forward. They like to find it up on the ground through. Tough challenge there from Stanley Ukumu. Brian Brown is down.
Komu and Brown down. Brown caught the majority of that on the head. Head injury. Both trainers will be motioned onto the field here only in the 3rd minute of play.
Stanley Okumu coming through the back of Brian Brown, thinking that he was going to take it on his head or flick it on. And Brian Brown, being a strong presence there up top, just comes up and brings it down on his chest. And unfortunate, it goes right through him. And that, that's a nasty challenge that you don't want to see, but that's what the playoffs can do. Players are very eager. They want to put in that first tackle. They want to get themselves integrated into the game as quickly as they possibly can. And unfortunately, you have some things like this where you bang heads and, need the doctors to come on. Hopefully, they're both okay.
Looks like Brown's up. Komu's still down on the pitch. Monarchs with Plua as a center back substitution option for the Monarchs. Both sides. These two sides have met up twice this season, one here at Zions Bank Stadium and one in Reno. The first one on July 3rd, a 3-0 win for Reno, a big victory for them. And then back here in Salt Lake, and it was a 2-1 victory for the Monarchs here on August 8th. A comeback win as Brown scored a screamer. Probably one of the best goals I've seen in person.
It was a great goal that he took, and then it was a great response right away from Salt Lake City. Real Monarchs to take that, to tie the game up. Took the lead before halftime. Brian Brown had a bunch of chances on his left foot in the second half as well. He did not capitalize on, but when they went to Reno, like you said, that's how important this home field advantage, because they got absolutely whacked down there or up there in Reno.
Both teams going to be down a man. Weehan will take the free kick. 2-man wall in front of him. Played in with his right foot. Drifting it back post. Headed up. And Sparrow's trying to get his hands on it. Sparrow plays it out quickly, trying to find Velasquez. A nice ball there. Just no one home to help him. Weehan's going to play it back to Berzano.
Not a bad timing and not a bad effort there as well. It's very hard to pinpoint those. Raimondo's one of the best that you've ever seen do it, but not many people can do it like him. Connor Sparrow's coming back from an ankle ligament injury that will probably prohibit him from being as good with his feet as he was before the injury.
Komu still off the pitch. Brown is on. and was flagged for the offside. It'll be a free kick for the Monarchs here in the 5th minute of play. Still scoreless between these two sides. The coach Ian Russell and Hamas and Alave on the opposite side, both sporting the casual look tonight. This afternoon playoff matchup. Brown, he's going to get to run under it. Defended by Akomu. Ball played in, and a good-looking ball, but cut off by Akomu, and an opportunity there for Reno, cut off by the Monarchs defense.
Yeah, Reno 1868 really liking to exploit this left side, this left flank down here early and often. They've played a ball over the top to Van Uwick, and now Ryan Brown. Look for those late runs out of the midfield. Good run there by Brown. Good cover by Ohumu. And get a corner out of it. They've been the more dangerous and positive-looking team, and this is not good. Ohumu's now down, and you never want to see that. That's not good. They're probably going to have to they have Combat Plua and Taylor Pay up on the sidelines, getting ready to come in if he can't continue. This would be a huge blow to the Real Monarchs because they found a real gem here in Stanley Ohumu. Had a great couple of games and really invigorated that back line since he's been there. He gives them a lot of speed and a lot of size that they lack when he's not in the game.
Only his 3rd game here for the Monarchs. Played in the previous 2 victories.
See the players standing all around, and this is a real cause for concern. Any kind of concussion type protocol is in place. These players, everybody's been dinged in the head. Everybody's had these type feelings where you just have headache on headache. I mean, this is a really sad thing to see. Not likely that he'll be able to continue when you have the trainer come on 2 times in 3 minutes.
Hey, still getting stretched out, trying to figure out things. And another challenge that you face in a situation like this, Chad, is having a player leave the pitch on a corner kick for the other team. You go a man down.
Go a man down, and look who they lose. If it was Sebastian Velasquez, someone that didn't mark up on corners, but Stanley Ohumu takes their biggest guy, probably Brian Brown or Zach Carroll, just absolute monsters in there, and they're severely downsized with Ohumu off the field. So is this going to be something that they allow them to make a change right now? He doesn't look ready. He needs to get his shirt on quick if he wants to get in this one right now, but they look like they might play man down on this corner kick.
And they're going to, I believe, allow them to make the substitution. Taylor Pay is going to get a quick shot of Gatorade. About all it was, a shot.
This is something that you can't prepare for, and for Taylor Pay, this is, if they had gone with Conrad Plua was playing pretty decent when he was playing, had a few goals in his last couple starts. Then he got yanked when Stanley Ohumu kind of took over. Taylor Pay is coming back from an injury himself. So coming back on this turf, knock on wood, but there have been injuries as a result of players coming back and playing on this field. So hopefully he's able to see this game out, because losing a center back this early, especially in Stanley Ohumu, is going to be severely detrimental to their game plan going forward.
Only Taylor Pay's 7th game for the Monarchs this season. 6 starts. So come on as a substitute. Ball played in. Portillo. Velasquez tries to win it, taken down slightly from behind, and there will be a warning to Hopino there.
That's where that experience and that savviness kind of come into play when you're undersized and that ball's bouncing and the guy's got the better of you, the size advantage. He does a good job with Sebastian Velasquez of getting his ball in between the guy and the ball and just simply getting a little contact, feeling that contact, and going down, drawing a foul, and allowing Real Monarchs to move their lines up.
Ryden over to Pay. Pay gets his first touch, plays it forward, and out of play. As a first touch, you expect some jitters, maybe a touch. Hopefully he can get settled in as him and Ryden are trying to communicate and organize that back line.
Well, Ryden should have found Moberg out here, but when the forward split and opened up right there, he plays a tough pass back to Taylor. He takes a little bit too much time there, but that's that game awareness, that game speed that you're just not used to when you've been out for so long. Me coming back after my injury, that's what was the hardest problem. I couldn't play anybody in his space because I didn't know any speed. That's what Taylor Pay is going to face when he's coming back today. But it's good that he was able to get a touch on the ball. He cleared the danger. It was smart by Andrew Hopino to make sure that he got in there and get in on that guy that just came in. See if he's ready to play.
It'll be a goal kick for the Monarchs and Connor Sparrow. Monarchs moving from left to right or south to north here at Zions Bank Stadium.
And a game-fit Taylor Pay, they really don't lose much between him and Stanley Ohumu. Taylor Pay has that experience. He played with these players all last year, so his familiarity with these guys is vast.
Cashier is going to try to get it under it in the corner. He gets there, tries to get around the defender. Nice moves there. He'll keep it. Richards in front of him, back to Velasquez. Monarchs are going to recycle. A good little turn there from Sebastian Velasquez to get away from the defender. A bend defending him. Cashier looking into Hoffman. A good-looking ball there, and I think he would have been onside.
And he knows it. That's why his fists are up there, because he's not sure. I think he might have held up his run because he thought the keeper might be coming out. That's when you kind of just make sure you bring it down. If he had jumped up with it, he would have had plenty of time onside. Could have turned towards goal.
To thank all those of you tuning in tonight on ESPN Plus, or those of you in Nevada tuning in on Nevada Sportsnet, we welcome you to Zions Bank Stadium, home of the Monarchs. $78 million facility here in the Real Salt Lake Academy. First season for the Monarchs playing here at Zions Bank Stadium, and so far successful, 13-2-2 at home.
Up until the last month of this season, last month and a half, 6 weeks, they were undefeated in the last 2 years, 2017 included. Really impressive stuff. They need to find that kind of dominance, make this place a fortress again.
Wow, puts it in. Good-looking ball there and an opportunity.
Oh, great ball in there from Lacroix. Yeah, because it was that Wehan there on the back post, just sneaking off that left back shoulder, off Andrew Brody's shoulder. Does a good job getting in there, and he just gets underneath the ball, leaning back a little bit too much. You got to keep your weight forward. That's tough no matter what to get on goal, and it's even tougher to score, especially with somebody like Connor Sparrow between the pipes.
Openo's a guy who's very capable of scoring goals. 5 goals, 13 assists on the season. Like Chad mentioned earlier, Reno, 7 games unbeaten, have not lost since September 8th, a 2-1 loss. Calls coming from the Monarchs bench. Chang, good little combination there from the Monarchs. Velasquez dispossessed. Hoffman gets it wide, Brody making the overlapping run. Richards has 2. He'll play it wide to Brody. Ball's a little short, and Brody is going to win the first corner of the match for the Monarchs.
Just kind of bopping around here in the middle. Great step by Charlie Adams. Chandler Hoffman switches out to Masta Kasher. They're trying to create a 2v1. Really well done out there by Richards, who's a freak athlete. Can guard 2 players if you need him to. Gets out there. They get a corner kick, though. First one of the game for the Real Monarchs.
13th minute to play. Monarchs with their first corner of the match.
This is the most important thing. These are where, in the playoffs, games are won on set pieces.
Ball swung in from Portillo. Right inside the 6, punched away. And Charlie Adams will get under it. He'll try to keep it in for the Monarchs. Does a good job. Looked like it was in from this perspective. But the AR on this near side will call it out. It'll be a throw-in for Reno.
Yeah, Charlie Adams obviously thinks that it was a free kick. He has to be a little bit careful there. Or, I'm sorry, he felt the ball was still in play. He needs to be a little bit careful there as he's throwing the ball away. You don't want to take a yellow card, a stupid yellow card early in the half because you throw the ball where they're not standing.
Especially as a defensive mid.
Exactly. He's going to be so important. They're a little thin at that position. Jack Blake's there to cover him, but they don't have anybody else besides him if he goes out.
Ball out wide. Richards looking forward to Openo. Defended by Pay. Openo with his back to goal, trying to get around Pay. Pay does a good job to shield him away, and it looks like it's going to be a corner kick for Reno, the second corner kick for them, and another good opportunity.
Yeah, good movement there from Openo to get in behind the defense. Nice ball, diagonal ball played into his feet. Taylor Pay does a good job kind of stewarding him to the sideline, but Openo does an even better job earning himself a corner kick. It's the third one of the game here for the Reno 1868 early on.
Corner in, headed up, and a player down. Looks like Moberg is the one down on the ground.
Another collision of heads.
This is something you do not like to see. Carroll and Moberg down on the pitch. And I believe Carroll's up. Moberg's still down.
This might seem unfair, but it looks like as this ball comes in, yeah, you got Carroll coming in, you got Moberg coming out. Two big boys challenging for it bravely, and Moberg just gets the worst of it from Carroll. And this would be a massive blow to have to make two substitutions earlier on in defense, which means that you're pretty much only going to be able to make one substitution, probably going to have to be on the offensive side because most substitutions in soccer are on the offensive side. To only have one option is really going to just make things very tough for the Monarchs coaching staff.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportsamerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. That's selectsportsamerica.com. Moberg still getting down, getting tended to by Marshall Stoddard, head trainer for the Real Monarchs.
And Moberg, victim of a concussion or even a slight concussion not too long ago, was recovering from that. It's one of those where it wasn't a very severe one, didn't keep him out super long, but this can happen. It's much like a hamstring. When you think you're okay, you know, it just takes one little thing to jar it again. You hope that he passes the concussion test that Marshall Stoddard will give him, but if not, they're going to have to make their second substitution in either Conrad Plua or Josh Hurd.
Carroll was down, got up, and so he will not leave the field, but a corner kick coming the second of the match for Reno.
And just like the last time, now they're definitely going to be down a defender here on this set piece.
17th minute of play, ball played in. Griffiths rise with Pay, and Pay gets there first. Pulled from behind is Chang, and Brown will be whistled for the foul. Reno, not a team that has called for too many fouls. They've only conceded 359 throughout the season. They're dead last in the league for fouls conceded. So a team that is very disciplined, and I think that goes to Ian Russell and the job that he does for Reno. Been with the club for these 2 seasons, was with San Jose Earthquake for 8 seasons as an assistant before that, and then 7 MLS seasons as a player and 2 MLS Cups during that time. So a very quality coach and a disciplined side in Reno.
Discipline as well as fit. When that happens, that's normally a fit team that comes in because a lot of fouls are caused late on, lazy defending when teams get tired. That just goes to show how great of shape that Ian Russell is with this team into, because they don't go out much and they don't foul much. They don't feel the need to because they're in such good defensive positions at all times.
Monarchs going to slide into a 4-3 or 4-4-1 essentially, as Chang will slide in along the back line. This cuts off some creativity and opportunities for the Monarchs, gives Reno a little bit of an opportunity to pull possession. Ball played wide. Griffiths going to try to get under it, Richards, but unable to do so. And a goal kick coming.
It's a good sign. Moberg will be running back towards the halfway line. He wants to be checked back in. Obviously, the doctors feel that it's okay. This would have been a huge problem, and you could see why Homison and the coaching staff are waiting for so long, because they want to give him the chance, but that's so dangerous as well, because in the playoffs, that's when the time comes to score. Take your time. Give him easy passes. Let him get back into it. Make sure his head is okay is the most important thing.
19th minute of play, still scoreless. Neither team with really a defined opportunity so far. Moberg's back on the pitch, battling with Brown, and Moberg's going to be whistled for the foul on Weehan.
And Moberg, they're not jumping up to head that ball. Is that a sign that he's going to be a little bit scared to head the ball in the rest of the game? That can present a pretty big problem, because balls in the sent back cross into the back post, he has to be ready to challenge for, and he has to be brave, which he normally is. But having that in the back of your mind, that you just took that head knock and you were dizzy for a second, it's tough to convince yourself that you need to go for all the head balls that you need to.
Monarchs communicating nicely on the defense. Weehan able to find a space just in along the back line. Ball played out wide, and Kasipli's going to send it behind Richards, who was running up the far side. Monarchs, if you're just tuning in, Monarchs already used one substitution on an injury to Stanley Okomu, and Taylor Pay entered the match in the 7th minute of play. Reno yet to use a substitution, and I would imagine unless there's an injury, you won't see that till later in the second half.
We definitely will. That's a lovely switch there. I think that was Andrew Brody that played that ball. That's a tough ball to play. Chang does well to bring it under.
Ooh, nice little turn there from Sebastian Velasquez. He's working his magic. He's one of those X factors, one of those guys that brings the uniqueness to a game. Chang going to play it forward, trying to get around. Cut off by Richards. Monarchs tried to apply the pressure, but Reno able to break it. Bad ball there from Weehan as he was looking for Hopino. Like I mentioned, Sebastian Velasquez, really that X factor. 13-3-2 when Sebastian Velasquez starts. 6-9-1 when he does not.
He's the most important cog to almost any team. He should be on the MVP talk list every single year. His numbers haven't really signified that he should be there, but what he does to that team, just as you spoke to the record, that's the important thing. Sometimes just his presence on the field draws attention, and just much like any other team.
Richards down.
Another player down, looks to be...
Or Griffiths, excuse me.
Griffiths, and he looks to be grabbing his head. He's saying that he got an arm that came back and hit him.
A lot of stoppage here in the first half. Not something you normally see, but very possible. Both sides supporter groups here tonight. Real Monarchs, Wasatch Leeson just behind Reno's goal. As you can see them in the backdrop.
And in that replay, you can see as Chandler Hoffman's coming through, he has no idea where Griffith's head is. He kind of twists his body, and unfortunately his right arm comes in and does, in fact, hit Griffith. So just a little bit of unfortunate incidental contact.
Football catch there by Hopino.
Put Hopino on your fantasy football teams, ladies and gentlemen. That was nice.
Maybe he'll play for the University of Nevada. Maybe he'll head out to Hawaii. That'd be a nice place to be tonight. So those two match up in Honolulu later this evening. Adams will have the free kick for the Monarchs as you're going to get a replay look at that. He didn't really have much to say. He didn't know it was coming right at him, but his hands were there, and he caught that one. 22nd minute of play. Left-footed free kick, one-man wall in front of Adams. Line inside the 18, bent in, and cleared away. Brown gets there. Plays it back to Carroll, and Carroll's going to swing it forward. Brody goes down. Both teams still really, like we mentioned, feeling each other out. As Hopino goes down, he was rushing onto that one with Taylor Pay.
Well, see, I mean, they had him backed up in the corner, and Reno 1868, the defender is heading out wide. I think it was Zach Carroll heading out wide, and he has to kick it back up the field. Don't give him anything short. Make him kick it 50 yards. You got to press up the lines. It's only 4v2 up top, so you got to take chances to be able to push people on and not let him get those balls.
Portillo would fill in momentarily for Brody as he tried to get back, but the ball is too long, and it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Monarchs have been more of a first-half team this season, scoring 30 goals on the season in the first half. Reno only scoring 22 in the first half. Reno's more of that second-half team with 33 goals scored in the second half.
That doesn't bode well for the Real Monarchs because they're one of the worst teams at giving up goals in the second half, especially late on. So getting that lead here in the first half is very important to them.
Velasquez, Chang in front of him. Chang out wide. Chang cuts back to his left foot. And definitely a scouting report read by Duke Lacroix there as he was able to keep Chang from cutting to his left foot. It'll be a throw-in, though, for the Monarchs.
Not many people have a lot of success against Michael Chang with his quickness and his skill, but Lacroix with his speed and his athleticism doing everything that he absolutely was asked of him and just defended perfectly on that cross.
Moberg will throw it into Chang. Chang plays it across. Beautiful ball. Cashier, step over. Shot, takes a deflection just wide. And a good opportunity, the first one for the Monarchs, as they'll get their second corner of the match.
Brent Richards doing his best Lacroix impression from the other side, not less than a minute apart. Great ball across by Masta. Ball gets to him, and that's exactly where Masta likes to be. He's normally picking up the ball about 30 yards from goal and then trying to create a shot from 20. In that situation, he got the shot from 20. Quick corner kick taken here to Justin Portillo.
Portillo plays it in back post to Ryden. He rises up, keeps it in. Hoffman, shot! Pushed away! Big opportunity and a huge save there by Bersano.
If you think any of that was an accident, you're absolutely wrong. That was a design play. Finding Justin Portillo outright. Kalen Ryden came to the back post. Great header back across for Chandler Hoffman. And he does a good job here to readjust his feet and make sure that he can get power on this ball. Sends it up into the right upper V. And look at, wow, Matt Bersano coming across. You can see why he's gotten so many shutouts lately. Obviously, that's not on him. That's the defense. But what an unbelievably fantastic athletic save from Matt Bersano to get that ball and keep it at 0-0.
9 games for him on the season. This is his 10th. 6 clean sheets so far and 25 saves. Pay cuts that one off. Weehan still on the ball. Taylor Pay uses the long legs to poke that one away. Chang cuts around the defenders. Held up. No call there. Moberg gets a slight push from the back from Weehan. Nice little battle going between those two.
The one good thing about getting hit in the head is it really wakes you up and it pisses you off. And you can see that Moberg is got a little bit of edge to him right now, and that could be because he has taken that headshot. You see him getting in there and not taking any gruff from Chris Weehan.
Some people walk into a gunfight with a pistol, others walk in with a bazooka. And that's what happens when you get a guy going.
Yep.
Not walking in with the little stuff anymore.
Don't bring a small gun to a big gunfight.
Both sides very capable of some bazooka-like goals. Like we mentioned, Brown with a thing of beauty here at Zions Bank Stadium in August. Ryden tries to get around Venevik. Kasipli will quickly restart.
You can see how spread they like to get. There's going to be options going forward, but their transition is so good because their outside backs get back so quickly. Lacroix a little bit lazier, I guess, than Brent Richards. Oh, and there's Hopino giving Moberg his chin music that he just got from him. And Moberg kind of finding a seat on the turf, waking him up. He's gotten jarred again.
27th minute of play. We'll see a replay look at that here in a moment.
And this is USL playoff soccer. Get your body in there, but don't let that defender hit you. Hit the defender, and Moberg will be more aware of that next time Hopino's getting a ball into his feet.
Reno with it along the back line. Griffiths tries to play it out wide. It's going to be kept in. Defended by Brody. Cut in. Cashier. Now Richards going forward and taken down, but a nice touch there by Cashier to play it off Richards, and it'll be a goal kick for the Monarchs. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. You can follow the USL at USL. That's at USL on Twitter.
And Griffiths, they might have to get some pressure on him because he's played a couple of nice balls, starting to get his scope a little bit better and find his distance on those long balls out wide right to Van Uwijk.
Adam's going to go down. Nice little, you know what you're doing when you fall on the ball and make sure you wrap it up in your chest. But a foul called just in front of the midfield stripe. Quarterfinal action here at Zions Bank Stadium. Still scoreless in the 29th minute of play. Monarchs with the best opportunity so far. But Bersano was huge to keep this one scoreless. Good crowd on hand here at Zions Bank Stadium for the first ever home playoff match at Zions Bank Stadium. Monarchs had one last year at Rio Tinto Stadium, losing in a PK shootout as the #1 seed to Sacramento. Reno also hosted last year, losing 1-0 to the OKC Energy in regular time. Sparrow will play it high and long. Cashier rises up. Won by Richards. Richards with 4 assists on the season. It's a good job to get up and down on that far side. Weehan dispossessed. Velasquez, he'll go forward. Monarchs without numbers, but Velasquez, he'll pick up his head. Sees Cashier. Cashier tries to play it in. And a good looking opportunity cut off by Reno's defense, but it'll be another corner kick for the Monarchs.
Yeah, ball gets stuck in Chris Weehan's foot on the sticky turf as the water. They watered their turf before the game, but it starts to dry out around the 15th minute. So those things can get very touchy and sticky to your foot. Sticks to his foot. Cheng gets a nice toe poke in there. Chandler with a one-touch pass and lets Sebastian Velasquez do what he does. Dribble out the defense. Looked like he was about to pull the trigger. Played Massa out wide. Massa dribbled in last time. Thought he would try and surprise him with the first-time cross. Chandler Hoffman was wide open on the back post. So look for that connection later on in the game.
Portillo. Look out for guys like Kalen Ryden and Taylor Pay. Just inside the 6. Back post to Ryden. Lays it down to Velasquez. He'll get around. He'll take a shot. Pushed away. Bersano is playing huge this afternoon.
Doesn't have to make such a great save here because his positioning is so good. He doesn't fall for that one going back post. It looks like as he takes his touch wide, look at this silky move to the left. It looks like he's going to go back post, a nice little curve, but he has so much power in that left foot. He whips it to the left side, and you can see Bersano with great feet making another big save to keep it at 0-0.
Second consecutive corner coming from the Monarchs. This time Charlie Adams will take it. Left-footed, driven in. Does not beat Weehan, though. And the Monarchs will try to keep it in. Velasquez gets around Hopino. Pay still forward. Pay. He takes a toe poke. He's still on the ball. Shot and across the 6. No one home on the back post as Cashier was trying to make that late run.
What a debut back from injury that would have been from Taylor Pay. Doesn't find himself in these areas very often, but he's forward, and he's just doing what center backs do. He's fighting for those loose balls, and luckily for him, it was in front of the goal. Pops out to him. He's obviously not a forward, not paid to score goals. Tries to get his best lick at it. Shanks it a little bit off the inside of his left foot. Unfortunate for him, nobody was making that back post run. I would have loved to see somebody crashing that back post.
Good touch there by Lacroix. Gets in, but cut off by Adams. Adams was going down. Lacroix had a hand on his shoulder, and it'll be a free kick for the Monarchs.
And I think when you talk about the fouls throughout the regular season and everything, that goes completely out the window when it comes to the playoffs because this playoffs is if the ball turns over, there's not a chance that you're not going to take a yellow card. You would much rather take a yellow card than allow them to counterattack the other way, and that's what Lacroix was doing. Fortunate not to get a yellow.
Throw in for the Monarchs coming.
Hey. Run.
Cheng. .33rd minute of play, still scoreless. 2 big saves by Bersano to keep this one all level. Adams to Velasquez, and he'll make the big switch over to Brody. Monarchs going to try to attack from the other side. Reno doing a good job of keeping their lines compact and organized.
This is definitely when you want to show some patience. Kalen right in there passing it across to Taylor Pay when he's got 15 yards of space in front of him. Go ahead and take a touch forward and see how the defense reacts. If you just keep passing it across, you're going to expect that every single time. Don't let him off easy. Challenge him.
Ball there by Velasquez. Cashier. Shot! Just over the bar, and a good-looking opportunity, and that's something you love to see if you're Hamas and Alave. A guy like Master Cashier trying to build some confidence here later in the first half.
That's why Cheng, a left-footer, plays on the right, and Massa, a right-footer, plays on the left because they want them to come in and be able to create shots and be able to score off that. They practice it very often. Massa Cashier, both very comfortable coming in, having shot. He had a great shot last week in Fresno that was just straight at the goalkeeper. That one was a good tester as well. Again, kind of straight at the goalkeeper, but you know, you wanted to have more and more of those shots. We had a game here a couple games ago where Massa Cashier had, 3-4 chances, and the goalkeeper just stood on his head. He should have had a hat trick of beautiful goals, but unfortunately, he was playing against Piotti that day, and he just absolutely stone-cold him the entire game.
Moises Piotti had a big game to keep Master Cashier out of the back of the net against Colorado Springs.
Look at this late run from Seth Casiple. He made a 30-yard run with, I want to say, almost 10 players in front of him. That's the runs that they're looking for the entire game. And that's what the Real Monarchs have to watch. It's not just the forwards making those runs. It's the deep runs from the midfielders that have to be tracked by the other midfielders on the Real Monarchs.
Chang, he wins that one away. Forward to Velasquez. Velasquez does a good job to get away from pressure. Always impressive. Out wide to Cashier. Brody making the overlapping run on him. Clipped in. Chang. But Lacroix had a nice position there to body him away from floating to that back post.
Yeah, great positioning. That's why as the outside winger, whenever you're in that position, you don't want to get in too early. You always want to stay off that back shoulder 3 or 4 yards. That way, if a good ball is swung in, you're still in a good position where you can actually beat them to the ball. But if anything goes over, you make sure that Lacroix isn't going to be the first one to get it. Like you said, though, good positioning by Lacroix there.
Sometimes you have to know where you're sitting in a situation like that to change things. Velasquez, forward, trying to find Hoffman. Monarchs applying a little bit more pressure here in the last few on Reno, trying to see if they can get some cheap giveaways.
The one thing you have to watch out for is Hopino. All this kid wants to do is run, and there he is on the ball, finding another run through.
Brown, top of the 18, and puts it up and over and into the giant scoreboard here at Zions Bank Stadium.
Hopino early on doing an unbelievable Wayne Rooney impression of finding that space, not being a true forward, but go ahead and drift out wide and just drag the defense out with you. When you have all the speed in the world like him, you're just trying to create space between the defenders to make runs through the lines. And he's doing an unbelievable, fantastic job of that tonight. He's already been through, but he's already broke the line 3 times in the first 36 minutes of this game.
You saw Leo the Lion, Real Salt Lake's mascot, hanging out here at Zions Bank Stadium for this quarterfinal action.
Players finding it hard to deal with this sun.
Chang just mentioned that he could barely see it on that one. Monarchs pretty accurate on their passing, 83% on the season, first in the USL. Reno not too far behind them with a 78.9%, 7th in the USL. Both teams pretty accurate on their passing. Cashier inside the 18 trying to get around the defender. Good defense there by Richards.
Masa Cashier, he's that skillful player. He likes doing his step overs. He likes doing his drawbacks. He likes doing his pump fakes. But Zach Carroll, I think it was Zach Carroll, Casiple, and Richards on that defense, just not fooled at all. They're not going to dive in. They're going to make you beat them. Very honest, good defending. And like I said, it's not just Bersano at all. That's the reason why they're keeping this clean sheets. You can tell by the saves that he's made already that he's in top form, and they probably relied on him to make a few great saves over their games that they've had shutouts. But this defense is just is a whole other reason. But you can tell by their team defense, they do such a good job of getting numbers back behind the ball. Their commitment to defending and attacking is fantastic.
They've done well in the last 5 games, for example. 4-0-1 in the last 5, scored 11 and only given up 1. And like we mentioned with Bersano in goal, 6 clean sheets in 9 games.
And that one that they gave up was when they were already up 3-0 against OC, the best team in the league. Or best team in the Western Conference, I'm sorry.
1 game already final in this USL playoff action. Down in Phoenix. Phoenix rising with the 3-0 victory over T2. As they punch their ticket to the next round.
That's what they miss in Justin Portillo, that awareness to be able to switch it. He makes it look so easy, but that wasn't something that they were doing when he was out with the broken arm. And you can see he's still got that casted up, but oh, it's a tough challenge from Brown. Definitely gets the ball, and I'm on Brown's side here because he comes in and gets the ball, and unfortunately, when you get the ball, you know, as Moberg's swinging into that one, it just kind of catches him late. Moberg's had a tough first half so far. He went down with a head concussion. He got beasted by Hopino on the sideline, and right here, as he's trying to play back, Brown with a really well-timed tackle. You know, just like we said, it's on Brown's side. It's not a foul. Even though Moberg's asking for it, it's probably just a collection of being on the ground so much and not getting any calls.
He got a little foot, but it's definitely one of those that I would be hard-pressed to give the foul.
This switch onto Brody is on all day. They've been finding Masta Cashier. It would probably be smart if Cashier would just go ahead and push up on Richards, let Brody take that space, and make Seth Casiple chase him all the way back. Brody's got an engine like nobody else on this field, so Would love to see him get the ball more instead of Masta and allow Masta to move off of Brody's ball movement.
Monarchs will reset. Moberg looking into Hoffman. Hoffman's taken down, and a foul will be called slightly late as Griffiths is going to get a warning here. Wonder if a yellow card will be shown. I don't think so. Just going to get the warning.
Well, he's that Stanley Ohumu of the Reno Extins. He's long, he's athletic, he's big, he's vertical, is out of this world. And he just loves to stick those long legs in there. And unfortunately for Chandler, with his size and that strength, I guess that strength overbearing from Griffiths, he's going to get these fouls. Look at those long legs come in. But really good job by Chandler. When he's been taking 2 touches lately, instead of his 1-touch layouts, he's had a lot more success in keeping the ball and allowing the Real Monarchs to move the ball up the field.
Hoffman with 12 goals, 5 assists on the season, 62 goals in USL action for him, 29 in a Monarchs uniform, and he's trying to add to that.
See, this is a great position for them to be in, especially with someone like Justin Portillo serving this ball, and you're really just trying to hit it just on the other side of, you're flying it right over that penalty spot, and you're trying to land it literally on that 6-yard box. And if it's a good low-driven ball with a little bit of curve, Bersano can't come from it.
2-man wall, ball driven. Little too far, kind of where you were talking about, just a little deeper.
Yeah, so that ball almost touches the goal line right there. So the reason why you want it to touch the 6 is because at about the 12-yard box, that's when it's about head height. Good runs that were made there, a little bit strong on the cross, which Justin, when he looks back at that video, will probably want to take back. But he's played 2 good balls in. A lot of them been to that back post.
Chad Barrett, Landon Southwick in the booth tonight. If you'd like to join us in a conversation, jump on Twitter. Give us a shout out. Tell us your thoughts. 42nd minute of play. Still scoreless. But it's win or go home time here in USL action. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL on the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL. Opportunity there for Hopino, and he puts it wide.
I laugh because this is Hopino's game. Hopino is really good at getting in behind defenses, but he just has this bulldog-type mentality that you can't teach. He doesn't give up on any single play, much like his adversary today and Andrew Brody. These two just, when you think they're on the ground and they're out of the play, they're popping right back up and they're causing problems. And just through his fight, he's able to get this shot off, and it's a 0.5 chance, but it's still a shot on goal, and it's something that you have to be keen. Don't let him sleep, and make sure that you keep an eye on him and a hand on him at all times.
One of the challenges that the players are facing is balls coming right. Ooh, high kick there, but an opportunity for Lacroix to go forward. Chang.
That looked like a pinball machine Lacroix had just entered into. Chang riding his back and then trying to get through the 2 pixie sticks there at the end that you're flipping at. But this is what they present, and this is what's so good having Lacroix and Riches on your team, because they can get forward and they are more than capable with the ball.
Quick reset. Richards. Back to Carroll, the captain. 43rd minute of play. Weehan, he'll go forward. Portillo will pick him up. Brody able to cut that one off. And the Monarchs will try to go forward.
And there was options to play out early. As soon as Brody wins that ball, he makes a good run. Masakashier doesn't find him. They elect to go into Justin, play back. That's the problem with the Monarchs. Their main problem is they try and play back just way too often.
Moberg clears it away, but not all the way. Weehan's going to go forward, defended by Chang. Weehan with it on his right foot. Back to Lacroix. Good spell of possession here from Reno as they try to find the gaps in the Monarchs' defense. A bend forward. Cut off by the Monarchs and pushed forward by Chang, but not completely.
This is a very important time. The Monarchs have been notorious for giving up one great chance at the end of the game, and then half, and here it might be.
Ball inside the 6, and Pay does a good job to push that one away. up and over the end line.
And it's always been a mental
For a corner
mistake
kick.
that has been laid on. It hasn't been really anything that, you're tired. Everybody knows that. Everybody's tired. But they have just given up chances that could have been capitalized by other teams so they didn't get these last 2 wins. And here it is right here, 44th minute. You're sitting so deep. You should not be getting beat behind when your forwards are holding a line at your circle.
Monarchs conceded 8 goals between the 35th and 45th minute. Free kick, corner kick, inside the 18, pushed up and over and cleared by the Monarchs. Almost a nice looking opportunity there from Reno, but like I was mentioning, 8 goals have been given up in that time. On the opposite side, Reno has also given up 8 goals in that mix, so both teams prone to giving up late first half goals.
Oh, that is not particular to any team. That is something that is jinxed on almost every team. But the best teams are the ones that don't give up these late opportunities, that are able to kill games and keep leads and post shutouts. That is the difference. And the Monarchs just haven't been good at it all year. So goals early on are definitely what they need. 5 minutes of extra time. All those head injuries.
Extra time announced, 5 minutes. Hopino trying to find on-rushing Brown. And a bend keeps it in. Getting a little lazy from both sides. So Monarchs try to resettle things. Forward to Chang. He's going to make a run up the right side. One man in front of him, Lacroix. Picks up his head, looking inside the box. Still there, though. Hoffman slightly got a touch. You thought maybe for a second that he would have an opportunity.
Van Uyck, his athleticism and his tenacity and his ability to work on defense this late. Great ball through. Really well read there by Connor Sparrow. That was a danger averted. That's what has been lacking in his game. It's not his sharpness in goal between the pipes, but his decision-making on crosses, on through balls. He struggled at that in his last game out, or his last outing that he had, and did a great job right there reading that, because that would have been a through ball to Brown, and he would have been in on goal.
Cut off by Connor Sparrow, doing a nice job inside the sticks. We're into the second unofficially announced of the 5 minutes.
And look who the team is that's putting all the pressure on right now. Michael Chang, he gets that ball sent in behind, but they're so far back that nobody was forward, and they're so tired from defending for the last 5 minutes that they haven't been able to get anything going forward. This is not how you want to end a half right now. Not letting the away team take it to you at your home field late on a half. It should be the Real Monarchs pressing the Reno 1868, but on the flip side of that, great job by Reno.
Lacroix settles it. Out to wide to Weehan. Lacroix makes an overlapping run, and Weehan will recycle. Now they'll switch the field. Inside, not the best idea there. Cleared away by the Monarchs. Only one other game in action right now. Cincinnati and Nashville scoreless in the 90th minute of play.
Again, right there, what you just said, nice clearance by Kalen Ryden, but since the team is so far back, that would have been a great header that probably would have unleashed the forwards, but they're so far back that the great header actually beats them past the halfway line, and it's just easily accepted by Reno 1868.
Throw in for Reno on the far side. Richards with the throw in. Long throw coming from him as they'll get everybody forward. Weehan, Lacroix, and Hopino are the only ones not up inside almost the 18. Ball in, Pay rises up, cleared away, and a shot from Kasipli up over the bar, and it didn't miss by that much.
Yeah, I don't think he really ever worded Connor Sparrow, though. He's from almost a dead standstill, and you're right. He does make good contact with it, but that one, I don't think it, unless that one's upper V or takes a deflection, that's going to be very hard to beat Connor Sparrow. I don't know, his weak foot, though. He does a good job to get connection.
Connor Sparrow, as you'll get a replay look at this.
Here it is, Taylor Pay coming in, doing a good job, and he's just kind of standing still. That's a tough one to always take.
Velasquez, nice little Maradona there to get away from it. He'll rush back. Ooh, he's going to get called for and given a yellow card. He knew what he was doing. A sportsmanship there from Sebastian Velasquez.
Seba thinking he got fouled, reacting, letting that hot blood flow through him, and that just can't happen when there's only 2 minutes left in the overtime or in the extra time in the first half. Such a bad time to take a yellow card because it keeps you on edge for the rest of the game. And the ball's gone here. There's no reason to do it. He's passing it, and he's actually lucky to get away with the yellow card because that looked like it had intent on the player.
He kind of came in from that bad angle as well from that back line. A little frustration as he was taken down.
The other problem is it's right in front of the fourth official. There's no VAR in USL, but they're in front of the fourth official with the linesman. You have 3 people looking at it. That's something they can converge on and be like, well, was this worse? I really like that the referee only gave him a yellow and kept the red in his pocket. The game is going to be much better. Obviously, Reno was not happy about that challenge, and I'm sure that Ian Russell probably agrees that that could have been a red card.
And I don't think either of us would doubt that or would have been super surprised if he would have gone back pocket. You obviously like to see 2 sides with full 11s. But when you have a bad challenge, sometimes you put yourself in that situation. Brody defending this one. And a corner will be won late in the half here for Reno in the last gasp of this first half. Can Reno find the game's first goal?
And Reno have been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. Even though that Real Monarchs created the best scoring opportunities, Reno FC have been driving down their throats.
Reno clips it in right in there. It'll be cleared away from the Monarchs. And that's going to be halftime here at Zions Bank Stadium. 45+5 played here at Zions Bank Stadium. Still scoreless between these 2 sides in quarterfinal action. Chad, thoughts so far on the first half?
You know, kind of just to recap what I was just saying, the Reno FC have really kind of been the better of the teams in terms of possession and their ability to swiftly move the ball up the field. The Monarchs haven't been able to get the numbers forward. The 6 and the 8, they're getting drawn out wide. They're not really staying central. So every time that ball comes into Chandler Hoppin or Michael Chang or Sebastian Velasquez, they don't have somebody to go back to and link up to the other side. The one thing that has been open for the Real Monarchs is that big switch to Masta Kasher or to Andrew Brody. And that's something that they're going to have all game because of how narrow, that Reno is going to defend them. But Reno FC has put their game plan. They come in here with a nice game plan, and you can see why they're so red hot right now. Been playing fantastic.
Both sides with opportunities. The Monarchs with the better of the opportunities, but we're still scoreless between both sides, and we'll take a quick break and be back shortly.
Is Bajev leaving it for Matiasic, gives a shot on goal, it's on the post, a rebound shot, just outside the 6 as Isley couldn't sneak in.
Trying to get ahead of the goalkeeper Byers, he does, deals it back, arriving is Takers! What a save in recovery from Brian Byers. Lancaster, saved by Tambakis. Trying to put things up for auction, what a great ball played in.
Here's Enriquez running on Hedrick. Enriquez, what a save,
What a save.
by Cardone! Just got the fingertips on that one to keep San Antonio alive.
It took a really special save there from Matt Cardone to get across to his left.
It's Matt LaGrassa. Save made! Rebound available, but cleared out. Patterson Sewell, the Tennessean, a primal scream.
Second touch, sliding through the defense, now he's into the 18. Has one more to beat, gets it through! Harding has scored in the open minute! What a strike! Laces behind the ball, what a quality strike.
Independence pushing forward for an immediate equalizer, targeting Herrera. He tries the overhead kick and buries it! Jorge Herrera.
Well, look, a win here today.
Oh, what an effort! Oh, a stunning finish.
Mendiola again. Ball hit across, what a finish! Ochoa! Ochoa leaves no doubt for Las Vegas. Robinson going for goal and puts it away beautifully. Saeed Robinson with his 5th of the year.
Back here at the half, still scoreless between both sides, and a pretty exciting first half so far. Both sides with opportunities. Reno with the majority of the possession. They were really the side that maintained possession, especially got late, and you could see some frustration from the Monarchs. most notably in Sebastian Velasquez, as he takes a late challenge and gets a yellow card late in the first half. But the opportunities really have been for the Monarchs. And Bersano has come up big twice with 2 big saves. We'll check out highlights here in a few minutes. But let's talk a little bit about playoff action so far. 1-game final, like we mentioned, and that game was down in Phoenix. Phoenix rising with a 3-0 victory over T2, and they were really the side that dominated from moment one, and it really started with a famous player that we all know, a guy that people really like, a guy that played at Chelsea, and he was the man last night to take care of business. The other game going on in action right now between Cincinnati and Nashville, and that one's scoreless. Ended regulation, and they're scoreless, and we'll check out the graphics right here, and you can see the games being played. As you see on the right side, the Western Conference, and you've already seen that bottom right-hand corner go final. Phoenix will move forward and will face the winner of Sacramento and Swope Park Rangers. But like I mentioned, on the top left-hand corner is the only current game in action. Cincinnati and Nashville are going to go to extra time. So there's a lot of opportunities here. Semifinals will be played next weekend, the 26th through the 28th, the Friday through Sunday. But there's opportunities for both sides. If you look at how it lays out, the hosting order for USL Cup would be Cincinnati, Orange County, Louisville, Sac Republic, Phoenix Rising, Monarchs, then Reno. So there'd have to be a few upsets for either of these sides out on the field to get the home USL Cup. But it's not out of the realm of possibilities as we currently see it's scoreless in the 1 versus 8 on the Eastern Conference, and tonight we'll see the 1 versus 8 on the Western Conference later this evening.
Well, you see it right there. Cincinnati, Nashville, 0-0. You can't count anybody out. All the rankings, they got to go out the window throughout the game. They go out the window throughout the game or throughout the playoffs. I mean, nothing really matters except for who's in form right now. Portland and Seattle and the MLS have more than exemplified that by having the late runs and just being the best team at that moment, but definitely not the best team the entire year. And here in the USL, the Real Monarchs fell victim to that the very first time that they had, or the very first chance they had last season. And now you see this 1 versus 8 again, and that could easily happen in the OC St. Louis game. And that's what's exciting about playoff soccer.
Both sides really fell victim of that last season. Both sides were very solid. I mean, you could talk about either of those two sides as teams that were favorites to win the USL Cup last season. Monarchs won this regular season championship and were on a run that was impressive. Reno on the opposite side, 69 goals in regular season action. They were goal-scoring machines. But both sides fell victim to not scoring early in the match, went late in the match. OKC scored a goal to down Reno, and then on the opposite side, the Monarchs fall in PKs.
Yeah, and that's what you don't want to see. You don't want to see PKs. That could be where that Nashville-Cincinnati game is going. That could be where this game is going. And the entire week, I'm sure that you were practicing PKs every single day after practice rather than doing shooting practice, because that's what's more important. If you don't know how to shoot by the end of the season, then that's a real problem that you have. But all these teams are here in the playoffs because they have found ways to score. But when it comes to PKs, nothing else matters. It's all about how the keeper feels and how people shoot, and something you don't want to see, but it's always exciting.
We're going to take another break, and we'll come back with highlights from the first half and all that happened.
We're ready. After 34 games, after victories and defeats, we're ready to show our colors, to pound the drum, to ignite the fire. We're ready to make waves, to make a statement, to make history. We're ready to answer the bell, to fulfill our destiny, to defend our crown. It's time, and we are ready.
Second touch, sliding through the defense. Now he's into the 18. Has one more to beat, gets it through. Harding has scored in the open minute. What a strike. Laces behind the ball. What a quality strike.
We're back here at Zions Bank Stadium, still scoreless. So we'll flip around. We're going to check out some highlights here in a second, but the big thing so far, like we talked about, Monarchs really have had the better of the opportunities, but both sides really have played pretty consistently, so far. And we'll check out some highlights, then we'll talk about some adjustments that both sides may make in the second half. Let's throw it at highlights.
Extremely slow motion out of the walkout of the tunnel just to make sure. There we go. Liven it up a little bit. This game is not as slow as that intro was right there, but this is going to pick up here vastly very quickly. And unfortunately, it starts with 2 head injuries, a lot of stoppages in play. Here you have Stanley Okumu and just some great footwork from Van Uwijk. It almost trips up Okumu there before he comes out. And this was right after Okumu got injured. Great ball sent in, really well dealt with. Connor Sparrow fighting there with Zach Carroll. Zach Carroll's a big guy, hard to get around. And it's been a lot of this. Reno's been playing some dangerous balls in there. You have Hopino, who's been just living off the left back shoulder the entire game, getting it a good shot, hard to keep that one down. And then here on a corner kick, good clearance here. Sebastian Velasquez gets his footwork real nice. Van Uwijk is, this is another one. Moberg with his head injury. This is the second one after Okumu went down. Then you have here Sebastian Black. Look at this fancy footwork, man. He can tear it. He can go any which way. This is him opening up a shot that Bersano actually just clears wide. Great little save. Good footwork there. He had an even better save on Chandler Hoffman before that. And Taylor Pay doing what center backs do, trying to just win the ball, ends up creating a shot for himself. Unfortunately, shanks it wide to the left. And then here's Hopino into Brian Brown. As Brian Brown takes this shot, can he use his size to really beat the defender there? You have no idea. And here's that tackle from Sebastian Velasquez that earned him a yellow card late on. Can't get away with that.
Here at the half, just about to start second half action. Let's check out statistics from the first half and kind of see how the lay of things came out from the first half. We'll see shots and goals. Obviously, goals is still scoreless here. Shots even, 5-5, but the big difference there is the 2 for the Monarchs, 2 shots on goal and 2 big saves from Bersano. possession, though, is really quite lopsided.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievably lopsided right now. 65-35, and you don't have to look at the stat to be able to see that that's actually happening. What you're looking at, though, is the counterattacking. The Reno Monarchs have kind of flip-flopped on what they've been doing. They've been the one that's been an out-possessing team, and I can't remember a game when they were out-possessed here at home. But even early on, they're dropping too far deep. Their lines are tight, but they're too deep. They're almost playing like the away team. Reno 1868 really coming in here with a good game plan and just showing it how hard that a 4-4-2 diamond formation, when it's properly used, and credit to Ian Russell, he's put together a great squad, patterns, formations, tactics. You can see he's mastered this 4-4-2 diamond formation, and it's definitely causing trouble for the Reno Monarchs.
Matty Casey wants to know, what changes does Hamilton Alave make at this point to kind of change around the first half?
Well, unfortunately for him, he's going to make a change that he doesn't want to have to make. Conrad Plua is going to be coming in for an injured James Moberg, which you have to think is going to be sitting out now with a slight concussion or a concussion. However it is, it's still a concussion. He played through the first half, came out at halftime, obviously said he wasn't feeling good. So Conrad Plua is going to have to come in, and that's going to be the third right center back that they have in this game. He's going to fill in for Taylor Pay, who's going to push wide to give them a little bit more pace, because with Plua, he's good size and he's going to be good on set pieces, but you lose a lot of speed between him and Moberg. It's going to be interesting, and now they only have one substitution left in regular time to make that offensive sub. So these front six are really going to have to push their limits and make sure they use their energy wisely throughout this second half and going into overtime if that is what it takes.
And a huge adjustment, and something you don't want to have to do as a head coach, make two substitutions, and both of them defensive due to injury.
Defensive due to injury, and earlier on. Yeah, I mean, not early on, I guess, in the sense of Conrad Plua, but he hasn't played a game in a long time. Taylor Pay hasn't played a game in a long time. Stanley goes down in the 7th minute, and Taylor Pay has to come on. Now, if the game goes into extra time, you're asking this guy, Taylor Pay, who hasn't played any minutes, to play over 100 minutes, 120 minutes in a game, or 110 minutes, I'm sorry, and that's a really tough ask.
Still scoreless here. If you're just tuning in, first half action was end-to-end nail-biting from both sides. Ryden sees the switch, gets it wide to Chang. Chang defended by Lacroix. He'll cut in. Chang still with it on his foot, but dispossessed at the last moment.
There's a good entry ball in there from Kalen, though.
Ball forward.
As he takes that space like we said he should have done in the first half, they're going to get narrow, and that wide switch is going to be opened up, and a great switch there.
There's now a score in Cincinnati as Cincinnati takes the 1-0 lead in the 101st minute of play. Sparrow to Plua, getting his second touch of the match. Forward to Chang. Chang with the slight touch off the head.
Like to see Chang hold that one up. The ball not getting pressure from the back, sun's not in his eyes anymore. Try and bring those balls down and be strong.
Brody back to Ryden. Monarchs have made the adjustments along the back line. We'll see if they can figure things out and come together to be efficient.
But this is why in the video room, the entire defense, whether you're playing all the time or not, have to be in there, because situations like this, when you can't predict and you just have to be ready. These guys are coming in, and you want to think that they are more than ready, I guess, informationally to go into this game.
Velasquez's pocket's going to be picked. Ball kind of into the middle of no man's land.
But this is where they can attack with speed.
Velasquez, flag is up, stays down. Velasquez inside the 18, cuts towards the touch line. Ball's going to be knocked away, and it's a goal kick.
That's really unfortunate not to get anything out of that. You almost think they didn't water the field at half. It doesn't skip forward. Really checks up on Sebastian Velasquez, and he doesn't get a clean first touch. Really good recovery by Lacroix to get back, and then doubled up, tripled up, and sends it out for a corner. Good recovery.
And a great ball there, but you really have to wonder why Velasquez slowed up, why he was so worried about the flag coming up. There's going to be a whistle blown. You'd hope that a guy like that who has that mindset would go forward, because if he would have gone forward, he might have found himself in a good opportunity. Opportunity coming here for the Monarchs. Hoffman towards the touchline, back. And the Monarchs will slightly recycle. Out wide to Brody. Brody, he'll cut in. Right foot clipped inside the box, headed away by Reno. Monarchs come out with their foot on the gas pedal so far. Reno clearing everything out of the box so far. Plua to pay. Portillo, Monarchs will switch the field. Good heads up there by Kasipli to cut off the entry pass.
It's hard to find those entry passes in this 4-4-2 diamond because there's so many bodies in that midfield for Reno, so many white shirts. There's almost no passing lanes for Real Monarchs to find.
Ball forward. Chang brings it down with his chest and headed or pushed out by Lacroix.
That's better by Chang, getting in a better position. Good ball there from Connor Sparrow, but bring it down, earn yourself a throw-in, change the field position. That's really helpful for the Monarchs.
And a foul called. Reno will concede the foul. It'll be a free kick inside Reno's half for the Monarchs. Reset coming. Pushed wide. Cashier. He'll go around, has Brody wide of him.
And there's just nobody getting in the box. There's no danger from anybody. It's only Chandler Hoffman against two absolute monsters. And doesn't score a whole lot of goals with his head. And especially the ones that are challenged with these big boys up back there. That's not going to be easy for him. As this ball is building on the left side, can a midfielder get to the edge of the box? As they move out of the midfield into the box, they're going to create more space for the other midfielders. But it's just too stagnant right now, not enough movement. And you wonder whether or not the fact is that they know they're going to have to play a long game, if that plays into their mind at all.
Corner kick coming. 6th of the match. 1st of the second half for the Monarchs. Portillo. He'll swing it in. Inside the box. Cleared away by Reno. But Velasquez settles. Back out wide to Adams. Velasquez seems like he has eyes in the back of his head at all times. Very aware of where guys are. Charlie Adams will take the foul there. Not a bad foul to concede.
Problem is Sebastian Velasquez being such a big game. I feel like he's taking a lot of touches when he does get the ball, unnecessary touches. I'd like to see him get the ball off his foot, pass it, get it back, start moving, because not only are the other players not really pressing him, because if you step to Sebastian Velasquez, that's exactly what he wants, and that's how he beats you. But if you stand him up and make him play, the other Monarchs players aren't helping him out by moving. Because he's dribbling so much, the other players can tend to not move because they don't think he's ever going to pass the ball.
The all-time record in this matchup. Monarchs lead with 4 victories and only 1 loss. That coming this season on July 3rd. Subs are not up, warming up for either side here in the 52nd minute of play. Knotted up at 0-0. Pay to Portillo. Monarchs looking better, looking more in control here early on in this second half. Velasquez is going to go forward. Tug on him out wide to Cashier. Cashier is going to go towards the touchline. Puts it inside the 6. And Bersano there to lay down.
The Monarchs doing a little bit better job there. Masa Cashier getting to the left, but there was much better numbers in behind.
Brown had his hands all over. Ryden will play it forward. Simply calling for the ball. But Richards will come up to take the throw in. Richards with the long throw. He's going to switch the field with this throw. Not a whole ton of guys in the league are capable of throwing it that far.
I don't know if there's anybody on the Monarchs team, because those are things you can set plays off of. And his throwing that he had in the first half, that's exactly what you saw him do. But the Monarchs don't have any plays for that because they don't have anybody who can throw the ball in that far.
Richards cut off by Cashier.
But having that on your team, like you said, is very beneficial, because wide throw-ins deep in the attacking third can kind of resemble set pieces in the way of corner kicks or something like that, with a little bit different, and the marking's a little bit less tight, and people stay up, so there's less bodies to deal with as the attacking team. Great ball in there from Van Uwick.
From Hopino as he tried to get around his defender, but backed up into the ball and pushed it out of play. Battleborn Brigade here from Reno, sitting over on the far side bleachers. A good crowd on hand here from them. Made the nice trip over from Reno. Kasipli. We'll leave it for Richards to throw in.
That's space for Brian Brown. Kalen Ryan has to be careful that that's where they're looking to go.
Cut off by Plua. Plua used his height, and the Monarchs are going to go counter. Velasquez tried to find that space to Cashier. And a misplayed ball there from the Monarchs. Hopino, Ryden in a foot race. Ryden does a good job to win that one.
Brian Brown was on in the middle right there. Hopino, he plays the ball out wide. I think it was Kasipa that plays this ball forward, but the ball out through the middle. Kalen Ryden had a drop, and Brian Brown looked to be onside, and he was just absolutely devastated they didn't get that ball.
Monarchs coaching staff and team frustrated with the foul called there. They looked and felt like they had the advantage going forward, but it'll pull back, and it'll be a giveaway.
Yeah, I don't know what Kalen's doing there. He's playing the ball into Chandler's feet, and that's okay as long as there's a good soft pocket, but Chandler's looking for that ball behind. Kalen has to pick his head up and see that. Plenty of space behind. If Chandler wants to run, you got to send that ball. It gets cut out, and now Reno 1868 just headed right back down your throats.
Carroll, back to a bend. Bend's kind of dropped into that back line to receive the ball.
Well, that's how they like to play it, and they use their athleticism of their left back and right back to get forward, and they're still able to balance it with a 3 in the back.
Brown trying a little fancy flick to the back. No one home. Velasquez pushes out wide. Monarchs without numbers, but Velasquez cuts in. He's trying to make something out of nothing. But the Monarchs will switch the field to Brody. Out wide to Cashier. Cashier 3 goals and an assist on the season. And like Chad mentioned earlier on in the season against Colorado, really had a lot of opportunities, but was unable to find the back of the net. We'll see if he can be a game changer tonight.
That's a great ball in. Good first touch there from Chandler. Nice continued pressure from Griffiths to disrupt that play going forward. But those are the balls that you look to dink in. Great ball in there from Taylor Pay as it comes in. Play that one to his feet because he can't go in behind. He can only look to his feet. He's in a good position, has a nice layoff to Chang. But again, good job by Griffiths to go ahead and thwart any danger.
Ball inside to Hoffman, to Velasquez. Velasquez takes a shot. Defended well by Reno. Brown's going to get the ball out wide, unable to get on the end of that one.
Guy Ben frustrated with himself. He didn't have really any options there, but definitely got to keep that one on the ground to give Brown a chance.
Reno, a better team in the second half when scoring goals. They scored 33 goals in the second half scored, opposed to the 22 in the first half for Reno. So this might be an opportunity for them, but the Monarchs are pressing at this moment. Forward, Cashier towards the touchline. He'll cut it back, looking to Brody. Brody is going to attack. He'll go forward. Cuts it in to Cashier. Cashier, shot! Big palm wide from a Bersano.
Again, Bersano coming up absolutely massive. Really nice interlink play, moving the ball, switching it, moving on the field, finding the soft pockets there. Massa and Brody doing a good job of combining. Brody sees the space that he can take. Nice little fake in there. Massa Cashier stays in the play. Here's that pump fake I was telling you about. Boom. There goes the defender. But Bersano, when he does that, the defender's covering the far post. Bersano starts cheating towards that near post and is able to make that save because of the intelligence that he shows.
Portillo with The corner kick, second of the second half. He'll swing it in with his right foot, looking to Chang, still inside the 18, but cleared. Monarchs are going to hold it in. Pay tries to get back out wide to Portillo, but a lofted ball. Takes a lot of time to get there.
Can't give that one away. Got to make that pass. Got to connect with somebody.
Little miscommunication there in the midfield. As Adams is there, though. Adams trying to find Cashier. Voting is open throughout this weekend for October's Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, and Save of the Month award. Cast your ballot at uslsoccer.com. USL's monthly awards. Brown checks back deep into the midfield. Richards goes forward. Defended by Cashier. Cashier does a nice job to stab and win that one away. And he's taken down from behind by Richards. Might have gone down a little lightly there, but it affords you that opportunity when you stick a guy and then the guy looks like it's almost retaliation.
That's the intelligence we're speaking of. He does a great job in lining up Richards here. Does a great job lining up Richards here. Then he puts his body in between the ball. He knows that Richards has been aggressive the entire game. Comes right through the back of him, get a foul. Massa does a great job there of earning that free kick. Really well up there by Griffiths. This guy, his vert is amazing. He looks a little bit hurt because Chandler going underneath him, he kind of comes down weird and awkwardly on that hip. The passes just haven't been as clean. Monarchs have been better in this first half. Reno has been pretty good all game. They're starting to shy away. You wonder if they put a lot of effort into that first half. Monarchs have come out the better of the two teams.
Monarchs maintaining possession.
Great
switch there. Brody. Monarchs just, it feels like something's building here in the last few. Sustained opportunities, sustained movement forward as Brody's going to go forward. Brody with it at his feet. He'll look wide and finds Chang. Chang by Lacroix tries to play it in. Hoffman feeling frustrated. Nothing's quite reaching him, but opportunities keep coming, and this is the third corner of the second half so far.
And he's found ways to be influential in the game without scoring goals. He's been a big part of the success and the wins the last two games. But Brody, Andrew Brody, has been great in this second half. He was getting forward a lot in the first half, but a lot of balls were getting to Masta, and a lot of his overlapping runs weren't being rewarded. This half, they have been rewarded. He took one to the left, and he took one inside, and he's shown that he can be dangerous, and that's very important going forward because that's what they're going to lack on the other side with Taylor Pay.
Adams, he'll take the corner kick. In the 61st minute of play, Reno doesn't give up a whole ton of goals in the second half, but the 46th minute to the 60th is where they've given up 9 goals.
Look at nobody at the top of the D. This is what I don't understand in the zone defense. Anything that pops out to Masta can just be sent right back in, and another bad corner kick. It's frustrating, you know, but even more frustrating than that is there's not a back post run to kind of stay with it. The balls have been going to the back post a lot more so than the near post in this game for the Real Monarchs. Can they find somebody to realize, hey, this ball's going far every single time. Maybe I should get there. They've had success, and they had their best chance off of that ball sent from Justin Portillo to the back post being sent across by Kalen Ryan to Chandler Hoffman, who forced a great save out of Matt Brisano.
Header won by Reno, but pushed out by Ryden.
The clock girl is getting some heads up work right there. Not aware where the ball was. You definitely, as a fan and a spectator, make sure that you are always paying attention while the game's in process or in progress to the danger around the field.
Openo, opportunity, and a decent look there. Just didn't catch it clean, and not the best of angles. It would have been big for him to beat Connor Sparrow there.
I mean, the only thing that's going to beat Connor Sparrow there is a lifted, kind of the volley that he hit, but to that back post or maybe with the outside of the right foot as it comes off the half volley. Those are really the only two that are going to give Connor real problems right there. But that's too easy. You can't just get beat. You know Brent Richards has a long throw. You can't get beat in behind as that last guy, and especially getting bodied by somebody that's 5'10" and weighs 20 pounds less than you. Caden Ryan has to be better at that and stay goal side of his guy.
Substitution going to come here in the next few from Reno. Brody with a nice step there. He'll win it away for the Monarchs. Ooh, he was trying to find Hoffman making that run. Now the Monarchs have to be careful defensively. Dryden and Brody. As Brody gets back in position. And there will be a substitution from Reno. Here is Gonzalez.
And like you said, Hoffman doing a good job of still continue to make those runs. You have to make those runs. And the fact that he hasn't been getting the ball a whole lot, that's super... I guess that's super deflating to him. But to keep making those runs, only need one chance.
Weehan will step off the pitch.
And this is probably a fitness issue. This Weehan coming back from injury, he did what Ian Russell asked him to do. He came in and still 0-0. Now you get fresh legs coming in and Gonzalez. Let's see what he can do.
Gonzalez played for Swope Park. 2016 was their their player of the year. Offensive player of the year, excuse me. So a very capable goal scorer, 17 goals with 10 of them coming from outside the box for Swope Park. Kasipli in. Gonzalez gets his first touch of the match. Gonzalez, shot from distance, up and over the bar.
That's very positive from Gonzalez. Reno fans, supporters, and coaches and teammates are all going to be encouraged by that introduction into the game. His first chance that he gets, he goes ahead and he just has a good whack at it. Doesn't miss by much. Ends up coming down a little bit too late, but you know, it's his first actions of the game.
Sparrow's going to take the goal kick, and you can see how Reno's applying that pressure now. Good rise up there from Richards. Wow.
How easily he rose up there. Did you see that?
Almost looked like he climbed the ladder.
It almost looked like he climbed his back, but I don't think he touched Kasher. That's just a freak athlete.
The other game, like we've mentioned throughout today's broadcast, in action in Cincinnati, they're all knotted up at 1 in the 117th minute of play.
Seeding means nothing. It only means you get home field advantage.
Ryden heads it away, trying to keep it out. Ooh. And
it's not a foul. It's not a foul. I've had defenders do this to me as well. Brian Brown's a big physical character, and he's doing what a defender would do to him, shepherding the ball out of bounds. Kalen Ryden trying to make sure he protects himself, but he also has to be careful he doesn't overcommit, and Brian can turn towards goal. And this is, you've had too many injuries, and then you go ahead and, it's just, that had to hurt. This is not a soft field. It's good effort by Kalen Ryden, but unnecessary. Take care of yourself there, big guy.
Played in the box. Risen up was Griffiths, and Sparrow will collect. Gotta wonder on the marking there to have a header like that. Wasn't able to get power on it, but you don't want to be seeing any header opportunities inside your 6, especially headed high with the sun in the keeper's eyes.
No, definitely don't want to be doing that, but Taylor Page just got a little bit of separation. As we said, he hasn't been playing a whole lot. That's a part of the game, is being closer to defender, marking in a box. Griffiths gets that little bit of space, and you can't allow him to have that because he is such a good athlete, can jump so high.
Velasquez is tired. You can see some of those tired legs there as he's going to try to keep it in. Played in quickly. A bend. Hoffman's going to apply some pressure. Chang there. Gonzalez does a nice job to get that ball quickly away. Pay's going to have to defend here. Nice long leg action there. But he'll concede the corner.
And he had to be right. He had to be sure. He just got into the box. Going down, that's always a big risk. He looked like he was a little bit beaten. Great recovery. Like you said, he's got those long, stretching legs, and he makes a good tackle on this occasion.
Be the second corner of the second half. 6th of the match for Reno. Played in. Griffiths there. And a foul will be called. Chang's there. Touching his ear. Pays down.
Big battle there, and Taylor Pay, Michael Chang staying on the ground again, and this is the third center back. thankfully he's getting up right now, but that's the third center back that's been put flat on his back and into injury question from a resulting set piece. Just throwing bodies forward. This is where you have to be brave, and these players are being brave on both ends. And unfortunately for the Monarchs, they're just coming out the worst of the two on the battles.
Plua looking forward. And that's not the ball you want in a situation like that. It's got to be the possession-oriented. Monarchs were having a lot of success finding Velasquez and allowing him to distribute and switch the point of attack.
Well, it's one of those things that you have to figure out as a player or have the coach yell at you. But as a player individually, every single ball that has been inside the air or has been in the air has been cut out for the most part by Reno 1868. They've done such a great job of waiting for that long pass to happen and then trapping that long pass and then moving. Great little step in right there. But that's where they're getting success, is when they're playing on the ground.
Plua does a good job to cut that one away. The 2018 USL Cup playoffs are underway this weekend as we begin the road to the 2018 USL Cup, which will air on November 8th on ESPN2 at 8 p.m. Stay up to date with matchups, brackets, kickoff times, key storylines, and much more at uslsoccer.com.
And when these balls are cleared up, I mean, there's never any trouble. They have three guys very athletic in the back, and Chandler Hoffman, he's going to be 1 against 3 on all these clears. So as soon as that ball gets cleared, it's coming right back down their throat. The only thing the Real Monarchs can do is move their lines up faster and try and step and change the field of position, or kick it in behind the defense out for a throw-in and then move up their lines.
70th minute of play, still scoreless here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. USL playoff action. The third game played so far. One still in progress, one finished. This ball is going to go out, and it'll be a goal kick for the Monarchs. Monarchs really controlled that first 10 or so of the second half, and now have gone a little flat. And Reno starting to push forward and trying to find their legs and see if they can get the game's opening goal.
Because they don't have a big guy to go to, and because they've lost almost every single aerial challenge on long balls, they have to play short. And Reno 1868, it's just a free pass for them to move up their lines and trap the Real Monarchs and make them really earn their escape out of their own back.
Portillo wide to Pay. Pay picks up his heads, calling for options. No one really making themselves available. Sparrow will play it forward. Richards just has the hops. Kasipli does a good job to win that one away. Brown. Out wide to Gonzalez. Pay's there. Pay does a good job to win that one away. Pay's got a lot of green turf in front of him.
And that's why they put him out there instead of Conrad Plua, because he has that speed, and that recovery speed does a nice job there of making sure the attacker from Reno doesn't get onto that pass. But there's just a big vacancy in the middle. There's the 6 and the 8, Charlie Adams, that's a great check in there from Chandler Hoffman. That's exactly what he needs to be doing, finding those soft pockets.
Velasquez, he'll go forward at the defense. Finds Cashier. Cashier shot, bending, and he just had to keep it low and maybe would have been able to find that back post, but it'll be a goal kick for Reno.
That's his favorite spot. That's where we've seen him have his most shots on goal, and his most success is right out there, right outside the D on top of the 18 on the left side of the goal. Can he bend it far post? Even if he had actually hit it far post, the defenders were in good positions to block a shot, but still a good chance created off a Chandler Hoffman soft pocket that he found that's been there all game. That's where the ball's in the feet. Those balls in the air are going to be trouble for him because of the size and the athleticism of the back line of Reno.
A lot of space out wide for Lacroix, Duke Lacroix. He'll pick up his head, defended by Pay. Step overs, tries to get through, and Pay cuts it off. Hoffman all alone, finds Velasquez, who quickly gets it wide to Cashier. Monarchs just don't have options forward when Hoffman has to check deep.
The good side of that is you can say that their transition has been very good and everybody's been very disciplined about getting back on defense, but they've just been dropping too much for my liking. And can they stay up a little bit higher and give themselves chances to have counterattacks off of turnovers? One of the last place teams the entire season at winning balls in the opponent's attacking half, probably because of how deep they actually drop.
Gotta love the way that Velasquez is able to turn and torque his body. Ball, good ball, wide to Chang. Opportunity possibly for the Monarchs. Chang's gonna get it at the top of the 18. Shot at Berzano. And all he had to do was put it to a corner and give the Monarchs an opportunity, puts it right at the keeper.
Some decent back pressure there from Guy Ben, letting Massa know that he doesn't have an absolutely free shot. That's very important because it makes Massa take his shot rather than take a touch. Really good layback here from Chang, but it's got a little bounce to it. Oh, it just drops real nice. And Masta Kasher probably trying to go back post with that one. Doesn't really get his hips around it as well as he would like, possibly because of Guy Ben's back pressure, but easy save for Matt Brisano. It's going to take something special, you can tell, to beat him.
Player
Looks like
down for
another
Reno.
head injury. He's grabbing the back of his head.
74th minute of play, still scoreless. Monarchs with really the 3 big opportunities on goal.
And you can tell that they've had a chance. They made their 2 substitution. Moberg came out at halftime. 2 new players are coming in from the game that actually didn't start the game. And that is when that's important at halftime for the coach, because he wants to sit him down and he wants to individually tell the players, this is what I'm expecting you. This is what I expect of you. You don't have that time to do it when they get subbed in. So at halftime, it looks like they've made good changes. They're still having trouble going from defense to offense in a quick manner, but they actually, when they look to combine and find those soft pockets like they've been doing the last 3 or 4 minutes, they've had a lot of success.
Ian Russell with the decision to make here. Zabend is coming off. We'll see if he will stay on in the match.
And that didn't take long for the USL playoffs to find PKs. Cincinnati and Nashville going to PKs, or in PKs as we speak, actually.
1-1 through the first set of kickers.
If you want to watch high anxiety and drama, go ahead and put that one side by side with the Real Monarchs Reno game that you got going on right now.
It's live on ESPN Plus. Chang to pay. Ryden. That 1 seed and always the support or the regular season champion winner has really had struggles the past few years. They're not a team that's really had it easy when a lot of people think they should just win it outright. Last year, the Monarchs fell victim of that. The year before, I believe as well. It happened.
The general soccer fan doesn't understand how this works. When you are the 8th seed going to a 1 seed's home, the only thing you're really thinking about doing is defending and counterattacking and hoping for BKs. So you're just sitting back and you're just telling them to break you down and putting everybody, all your defenders, 45, 50 yards from goal and making it almost impossible to score. If you don't find that goal early on, you're going to struggle. And as the game goes, that team that is the 8th seed gets more and more and more confidence because they can see the light at the end of the road. And they're still only 1 kick away from winning the game.
Reno's had 11 ties here in the 2018 season. Monarchs, pay. Goes up into the boards, pushed by Hopino.
I don't think I realized how close these boards were to the actual field until this game. We've seen a few times, almost 3 that I can remember in this game alone, where it's actually become a danger to the players because it's so close.
Now through 2 PK takers, all knotted up.
Here's the chance. This is the counterattack.
Opportunity for the Monarchs. Velasquez, Hoffman, and Cashier goes forward. Velasquez gets away from his defender. He's in the center of the pitch, looking wide to Hoffman. Hoffman back, finds Cashier. Cashier taken down on the top of the, on the top of the D, and it was a good tackle there. A big opportunity for the Monarchs.
And what we had going one way, now we have going back the other way. This game's starting to open up late on. Masa Cashier center referee thinking that that wasn't a foul. He had Masa had Chang right out wide. If he would have slipped him in, decides to cut inside on his left foot, which he's not really known for doing. And it looks like he gets fouled and tripped up, but to the center referee, he says no foul.
Big ball switch from Portillo. Tries to find Chang. Chang keeps it in with his head. Defended by Lacroix. Chang sometimes will go at that player, but it's going to elect to go back to Velasquez.
Well, Lacroix has shown his speed.
Velasquez to Hoffman. Flags down. Still inside the area.
Man, how many times have we seen this before? Sebastian and Chandler Hoffman, great darting run. He did it to Andrew Brody and got cut out the time before. Sebastian Velasquez does a great job. They time it perfectly. It's just a little bit too far in front of him. He can't just quite reach it. That's where you wish that instead of 6 feet, you were 6'1". And if he just could, Matt Bersano, though, again, have to give him credit. You're not paying attention to him on the play, but his quickness to get out to that ball is what rushes Chandler Hoffman. And great job again by him, keeping them in the game, keeping them scoreless.
79th minute of play. Scoreless here at Zions Bank Stadium. Throw in. Settled by Hoffman. Hoffman maintains possession. Reno with 2 substitutions left. Monarchs with 1. Ryden finds Cashier. Brody. Monarchs with a good sequence of possession. Brody, just as I say it, the commentator's curse, gives it away.
Not a bad spell of possession there. Brody with if he completes that pass, Massa needs a turn here, and this is when you go with speed.
Velasquez's touch is hard. He does a good job. Ooh.
It's important for him not to react. Someone needs to get Sebastian Velasquez away from the referee, making sure he doesn't let something slip out of his mouth. He's on a yellow card. He needs to be careful.
Quick go from Reno. Richards, he'll go forward. Richards trying to find Brown. No one making that run.
Richards thinks it's a corner kick. It must have been one of those very slight deflections that you see in 5v2 that nobody's like, that doesn't count.
3,000 plus on hand here at Zions Bank Stadium for this playoff matchup.
You can see Justin Portillo doing a lot like what Guy Ben has been doing for Reno that we've seen. He's pushing back and almost allowing other people to step up and the outside backs to go forward. Got to wonder if that was a switch made by Hamson Alave.
Seeing some tired legs as Velasquez is going to go forward, pushes it wide to Chang. Chang's capable of providing that deadly service. He turns Lacroix twice. Ball inside to Hoffman! And it goes wide.
Oh, show me the dirty Michael Chang. That was absolutely beautiful. He was spinning around. You didn't even know if he knew where the ball was, but he had a firm idea of what he was doing that entire time. Look at this skill against Lacroix. They've had a nice little matchup. Cuts inside, nice little turn outside, spins back in, cuts it through behind his leg. Chandler Hoffman with a great run, and he just misses the contact. And that was just Matt Bersano. You have to make some good saves, and you have to get lucky sometimes, and he just got lucky that Chandler Hoffman missed that ball.
Cashier gets it away from Kasipli. Monarchs going forward. Chang. Ooh, almost a ball inside to Chang. Velasquez keeps it there.
It's a great look from Charlie Adams and a great run from Chang to try and get on the end of that one. Even better job done by Griffiths to cut it out.
Are you ready for USL League One? The newest professional league in North America kicks off next spring. Get to know the teams that will make it up in the inaugural season at USL Soccer or USLLeague1.com. It's USLLeague1.com. This game has been intense. Sudden death in PKs for Nashville and Cincinnati. Nashville just missed one. Getting intense. 83rd minute of play here. Reno with it in the midfield. And Cincinnati gets the victory in sudden death to move on to the second round.
PKs.
A bend to Griffiths.
Did you like that way of soccer, the golden goal? Did you like that?
No, in college, that's how it is, and scary. And we won some games that way, but definitely lost some games that way as well. So, I mean, PKs is another crapshoot. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. And I really do think oftentimes PKs, the better team doesn't always come victorious. As the ball's in, Griffiths, good opportunity, headed away by Ryden. Reno with a nice opportunity.
Good positioning there from Kalen Ryden. Really nice play. Brent Richards getting in. Saw the near post run from Gonzalez. Tries to just dink it into him a little bit. Doesn't miss by much. If that ball gets over Kalen Ryden, Gonzalez is right there challenging Connor Sparrow.
Corner kick coming. 84th minute of play.
And you got to be looking for Griffiths. Got to get tight to him on this one because that has been their point man.
He scored in the last game. Ball into the near post. Still inside the area. Pay's going to push it forward. Pay. He'll try to get around Hopino, who cuts him off. Velasquez was out in the middle of no man's land if someone could have found him. Still kept in by Reno. Someone's got to step. And Pay does.
You can see Taylor really finding his defensive stride right now. Valiant effort trying to get forward. Go ahead and not try and stretch you out. You're a defender. Pass that ball back and let them get forward.
Velasquez, tired legs coming from both sides as we get late in this match. Velasquez into Adams. Adams finds Hoffman with Chang out wide. Chang, his opportunity is defended well.
Looked like he was giving that give and go to Chandler Hoffman. Chandler Hoffman had stayed. So even if that pass goes through, it's not going to be connected.
Brody's wide. To Cashier. Cashier's on. Flag stays down. He puts it across the 6 and headed away.
There's no runs. He gets the ball. You know he's going to cross it, and there's no darting runs. Has to be a hard run. Start setting yourself up now. As that ball comes back out and they're going to wheel it back around, you have time to get back. But make yourself available in the box to take that chance if it comes, especially so late on.
Pace has slowed down in this game almost to a crawl. Seems like players are really trying to figure out what's happening. Good step there by Ryden. That'll be a foul, and I'm not sure where the foul was called, but it'll go against Reno. Brown's questioning the same thing.
Ryden doing a good job of making up for Conrad Plua's mistake there, going across his body into traffic. If that ball turns over, you're going 4-on-3 the other way. Got to be careful. Kalen Ryden does a good job of sniffing out that ball coming the other way, wins the second ball, and does a good job to earn the foul.
Free kick for Portillo. Portillo quickly takes it to Adams. Hoffman back to Adams. Shot takes a big deflection off Griffiths. Portillo goes to ground. Plua. And Reno's really kind of sitting in now a little deeper.
Might be starting to get a little tired. They put a lot into this game, but it's definitely getting stretched out. I imagine to see some good chances here going in the second half. None of these guys want to go to overtime.
Velasquez. Hoffman's right next to him. Velasquez cuts back. He's inside the 18. Sebastian Velasquez just wide.
Oh. Chandler Hoffman is going to have some words to say to Sebastian Velasquez if this game doesn't go through. Sebastian Velasquez does all the dirty work, and all he needs to do is lay this ball across to Chandler Hoffman, and Chandler Hoffman is going to tap this in. This is exactly what they're playing. Look at Chandler just wide open, waiting. He wasn't actually as open as I thought, but if that ball gets there, it's still hard because the keeper's out of position. Sebastian Velasquez with a great effort, though, and great individual skill to create that chance. Unlucky to not score. 0-0 still. 87th minute.
Gonzalez, fresh legs. He tries to clip it up over top. Gets it to Brown. Brown defended by Brody. Brown towards the touchline. And Brody will smartly kick it away. But he'll concede the corner for Reno.
That's the intelligence of Andrew Brody, knowing that he's not big enough to get into a physical battle with Brian Brown. That's when he's going to lose 10 times out of 10. But he just kind of stands off him. He just kind of kicks at him. Brian Brown does a good job to earn the corner. This is when it's dangerous. Late on, mental lapses are the bane of all.
Corner kick coming in from the right foot, driven in, back post. Griffiths and Pay went at it together. Pay just took an inadvertent hand to the face. Back up over the crossbar. And it'll be another corner kick as Pay's still down, got hit in the face by an inadvertent hand.
The way he's going down, it looks kind of like he might have got poked in the eye, and Griffiths throwing his hands behind trying to protect himself. Kind of looks like he might have caught Taylor Pay in the eye, which is sometimes worse than taking a shot to the head, because that eye you can't really open, and especially you'll be staring at the sun. It can be really tough. But thankfully he's okay. He's going to be able to continue. Done a great job since coming in so far.
89th minute of play. We are late in this one. Opportunity headed in, momentarily cleared, and the Monarchs will try to clear completely. Chang, he'll play it forward. Hoffman's going to make a run. Hoffman 2v1 to Velasquez. Oh, Cashier was making that run, but Velasquez was still trying to get away from the defense. Portillo out wide to Brody. Adams to Ryden. Ryden to Pay. You just feel like something with this end-to-end action might give way. Richard's going to let that one go, and it will go out for a throw-in just in front of the corner flag here on the near side.
But this is a good opportunity to keep the field position here. Unless that ball goes over the line for a goal kick, you have a real chance to keep him in for the last minute of play, 30 seconds, whatever we have, plus injury time, and able to keep your chances. Brent Richards, the absolute monster throw.
Pay's going to be in a foot race with Hopino. Hopino gets there first. Can he keep it in? Just on the line. Brown with him. Hopino clips it inside the area and headed up over the bar. Looks like Ryden might have lost his defender there, or the offensive player.
I think Van Uwijk and the Reno coaching staff, you can see the bench get off. They know how good of a chance that was. Hopino does a great job. Van Uwijk times his run to perfection, and he just doesn't get over top of it. He gets the ball in good position, centered balance. If he just has to get up and he has to rise up over it, make sure he heads that ball down. Give himself a chance.
2 minutes of stoppage have been announced. Not a whole lot compared to the first half.
Well, there's been no subs because they made them all in the first half.
Portillo to Velasquez. Out wide to Chang. Chang's going to go at Lacroix. Chang cuts in. Chang still with it to Cashier. Shot, and Bersano saves it.
I don't know why he doesn't smack it. The last one that was made back from Chang, they've seen this connection before in this half, and Massa really hits it with venom. Massa trying to be a little bit too cute here with it. As that ball comes across, it's really well done by Chang. Great layback, good pace, and he just passes it like he's doing a passing drill. I'm not sure why he doesn't give it a good go. You could say maybe he's cramping, maybe he's something, but there's no reason not to try and give that a good whack 90 minutes in. Could have been your last good chance, and it was a good one. Both teams having two great chances back-to-back.
It's kind of gone end-to-end here in this last few. Kasipli out wide. Brown on the top of the 8. Pushed it in the back of the net. And Reno just found the game's first goal at the death here at Zions Bank Stadium.
Wow, did not learn their lesson. Brian Brown, 16 goals on the year. 3 out of the 4 goals that have been scored against Real Monarchs was by Brian Brown with a missed PK. He hasn't really had a whole lot of joy and a lot of good chances coming forward. Van Uwijk right before him had a good chance in a similar position from a similar cross, and he just gets on the better side of Kalen Ryden, and Kalen does not rise up with him, and he sends a great header to the back post, freezing Connor Sparrow. 1-0. To go from Van Uwijk Masakashir's chance to here. We knew it was going to open up. Maybe there's another chance in there for the Monarchs, but there's not a lot of time coming left on extra time. This is one last chance is what you got to think that you have. You have an offensive sub in Juan Marais going to be coming in for probably a defender.
Charlie
Adams. And then the big boy, Jordan Morel, coming in, making sure that anything, probably put him in the fifth along the back line, play a 5-4-1.
Former Real Monarch. Real Monarchs have given up only 1 goal all season in the 91st minute, or 90th plus.
I'm not even sure if they're going to have time to kick this ball off. It might be blown as soon as this is played because we are a minute already in over what we were supposed to play in 2 minutes. What a devastating blow to the Real Monarchs, who've had the better of the chances and the possession. But what did I tell you? Mental lapses late on in games are what's going to cost you, and it just cost them. Not following runners. There's only 2 runners in the box. They have to be marked. But great job by Brown. Take nothing away from this man. Great ball to send in, and he rises up so well with strength, with authority, sends it to the back post. Reno fans are everywhere going crazy.
Monarchs going to throw everybody forward. Quickly pushed forward. Marais, big body up there. Ryden inside the 18. Ryden shot takes a deflection, and a corner kick's going to come for the Monarchs. They're going to send up all 11 guys inside the 18.
Griffiths just throwing his body on the line. Kalen Ryden bounces a little bit too high on the turf, and he gets a good little strike. Griffiths being as brave as he possibly can be. Blocks that cross. One last chance.
Playoff soccer doesn't get more intense than this. Portillo, he'll play it in. Everybody inside the area. Doesn't beat the first man. Velasquez still keeps it in. Velasquez with it at his feet. He'll get around Brown. It'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs.
Need a long throw in here. Who's ever got one needs to get on that ball. Let Taylor Pay take it. And do it quickly before this referee changes his mind. Can Juan Marais, a big, tall person, come in here and change the game?
Ball inside. Plua heads it up over the crossbar. And that is all she wrote here at Zions Bank Stadium. Reno is going to move on with the 1-0 victory here at stoppage time on a Brian Brown goal.
We mentioned it. We talked about it. We said that they're prone to giving up mental lapses and goals late on in games, and one of the worst teams at giving goals, especially late on in the season in the last 15 minutes into stoppage time. Just had a great chance at the end with Masakashir. They come back down the field after Van Uwick, and they score a goal. Great goal by Brian Brown in the run of play. 1-0.
You have to give them all the credit in the world to get that finish, because that was really the Monarchs' game to have. They had the true opportunities. They really were on the front foot for most of it, besides in possession, but they gave up a late goal.
Gave up a late goal, but the possession was better in the second half. I'd love to see that stat because they were going forward, and they only had about a 10-minute spell where Reno was actually taking the game to them, and then it looked like Reno got tired a little bit, and they were starting to put some good shots together, some good passing interchanges together, interlink play, and then Barsanio just played out of his mind again. Another shutout for him. 5 in the last 6 games. This team is red hot right now, and congrats to Reno 1868 for coming in here to a place where not many teams have won, and they take home the victory.
Let's throw it to a quick commercial. We'll be back with our final thoughts here for this quarterfinal matchup.
Touch sliding through the defense. Now he's into the 18. Has one more to beat. Gets it through. Harding has scored in the open minute. What a strike. Laces behind the ball. What a quality strike.
Independence pushing forward for an immediate equalizer, targeting Herrera. He tries the overhead kick and buries it. Jorge Herrera.
Well, look, a win here today. Oh, what an effort! Stunning finish.
Mendiola again. Ball hit across. What a finish! Ochoa! Ochoa leaves no doubt for Las Vegas.
Robinson going for goal and puts it away beautifully. Saeed Robinson with his 5th of the year.
Back here at Zions Bank Stadium, Reno moves on to the next round of the USL playoffs with a 1-0 victory courtesy of Brian Brown goal, his 4th against the Monarchs here in the 2018 season. Our final thoughts, Chad, what things did you see that you can take away moving to 2018 for the Monarchs and also for Reno moving forward deeper into this playoffs?
Well, it was the same story. Same story, different chapter for the Real Monarchs. You do so well in the early part of the season, and then towards the end of the season, you start to give some points away. Then you kind of lose it. They held on to the Supporters Shield last year. It kind of completely fell away from them this year, and they become one of the coldest teams in the league. And then you have Reno on the other side, who have just flip-flopped them, like you said before the telecast. And they come in and they're red hot. They have shutouts. That's really hard to score. They know that if they can get that goal, that they can probably just sit back and absorb that pressure. With Matt Brisano playing the way he's playing right now, this team can make a real deep run.
So one guy we have to give a shout out to, it was his final match in a Real Monarchs uniform, already signed a contract with Birmingham, and that's Chandler Hoffman. 62 USL goals in his career, 29 goals for the Monarchs, and a very successful career here in Salt Lake. And we have to wish him the best of luck in his new chapter. He's a guy that's been nothing but class here for this organization. To me personally, he's just been a good friend, a guy that I could always talk to. And, we've talked many times about his first ever goal. They chanted, "For he's a jolly good fellow." I wish we could sing that on his way out. I won't. I'll spare you that. But we have to wish him the best of luck. Monarchs, though, have a task. They've got an opportunity to try to figure things out this offseason, see if they can retool, and see if they can finally make the decisive first round of the playoffs and get through.
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with, kind of what happened, in the locker room and with the players, and that's all on them. They're the ones that step on the field. But, down to the coaching staff, they were a little bit, I want to say, handicapped because they lost 3 coaches throughout from the beginning to the middle to the end of the year. And having that inconsistency in the leadership is tough for any team.
Some big losses.
It's a big losses, and there's really nothing you can do to replace those coaches that were lost. And, Hamilton Olave came in, he did a great job. Who knows who's going to be in that position, if it's going to be him or if it's going to be somebody else, and how many players will be here. You mentioned Chandler Hoffman. I know it's going to absolutely kill him, and he's probably going to watch that replay of the one he misses right in front of goal, until he plays next year in Alabama. But like you said, we wish him the absolute best. To whatever players stay here and whatever players go, that's just the way, the nature of the beast. You're always going to get turnover. But there's going to be a lot that they can take away. But playoffs is just not the friend of the Monarchs. And, it came to a late, heartbreaking goal. Great turnout from the crowd here. And, just couldn't get it done at home like they have been doing all season.
And sometimes that's how it goes. You struggle in those moments. There's opportunities, and if you don't capitalize, you leave it late. You leave it up to either lackadaisical play by your team or a lucky opportunity. And I don't think that was either. Maybe a little lackadaisical for the Monarchs on the defending, but Reno really capitalized on their opportunity and found the back of the net. From our team here at Zions Bank Stadium, all the wonderful camera crew, the production team that makes this possible, we thank you for tuning in on Nevada Sports Net, as well as ESPN Plus, or here locally on KSL. Chad Barrett, Landon Southwick, and we'll sign off for the final time in the 2018 season and hope to catch you next season.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.